That was a gun.
I'm not voting.
If we want to build our nation.
The problem with the Somalians.
Just want to experience something else than a black man.
Move on, move
Can't be like
forward.
a horse with blinkers on.
Honestly say, I was about to have
Corrupt
sex and then I pulled
crap,
up.
but it's nice.
My name is TK. I am the founder of the Lulelihle Foundation. It's a women empowerment project that seeks to help young women live up to their potential, fulfill their dreams, and make the most that they can out of life.
I'm Evelyn Pop, and I'm the co-pilot of a music incubation studio called the Felipe Music Project.
I am Rubetwe Malope. I am 20 years old. I am an aspiring entrepreneur and businesswoman, and I'm as well an intern at Dream Factory.
I'm Blessing Tsiga, and I work for a non-profit doing work with people with intellectual disability, providing work opportunities for them in recycling projects. Yeah. And I also do voluntary work for small NPOs that need funding.
I always tend to feel that if you're a woman, you have to work 10 times harder to prove yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because you will be made to feel like you should choose. You can't be a family woman and a businesswoman at the same time. You'll be made to feel like you're either you're shortchanging your family. True. Or you're not giving it 100%.
Most men do not take women seriously. You know, there was a time when I was in a bus and I used to work as a cashier, and this man would like see me every day at work, and to him, it's normal for a woman to just be a cashier or earns a minimum amount of money. And he asked me, so aren't you working there anymore? And I was like, no, I'm not. I got a better job. And I told him that I'm an administrator and I'm a businesswoman and I'm studying and I've got a child and all of that. And he just looked at me and was like, ooh, you independent woman. And was that meant to be an insult? Was that meant to be an insult?
I think
you know?
it more reflects his stupidity.
Exactly, I think so as well.
I think it's more because they're afraid of what we have the capacity to do in leadership roles.
There's a lot of like analysis and mulling over things and processing with women that helps get to a conclusion. And I think guys can be very like practical, like ABC. I remember having a meeting once with deciding on how to find other ways of doing what we like, a system of what we're doing. And one of my male colleagues was getting very frustrated with like the discussion around it. So it's a lot of like, I think with a lot of guys it's, do we do this, or this? Like, let's do this. But with women, it's like, let's compare A and see how the strengths and weaknesses of A. Let's compare, okay, maybe I feel that B will be, you know what I mean? And I think that helps a lot with getting to better conclusions, I think.
Yeah, I feel that I can actually take charge and run the world. Girls can run the world, you know? We are. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I understand like that point of view very strong, and I think a lot of perceptions of women from men are very cultural and very socialized.
Yeah.
So a lot of ideas are not a man making a decision to say, I don't think you are, you know, like that's his intrinsic perception of women. But a lot of these things are taught and are more of at a subconscious level for them. So in terms of work opportunities, for example, I think in the workplace, or the reason why there's so many men out there, it's also cultural as well. You know, back then women were doing work in the kitchen, men are going to work. So it has kind of built that kind of environment in the corporate sector or in different sectors. And as we move into a new era, I see a more of an openness for men to, you know, believe in women to be in the same position.
What is this era you're speaking of?
I think there is a shift, definitely.
Yes, I think it's
slow, but it's happening.
It's happening. These women My City bus drivers. Don't you think that's amazing?
Yeah.
Like, and when I was at the train station, I saw a train driver. I was like, and she's a woman. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to be a train driver. That's great. I was like, wow, I should actually try to take part in this, because normally you only see men driving trains, and I saw like
when that is kind of awesome.
It's cool.
I had one woman cab driver once, and I got in. I was like,
Exactly.
That's what's up.
Women in our generation, we want more, and we want it on our own terms. I think there's definitely that shift. And seeing other women rise up is, I think for me, it's just making me see that I don't need to box myself to fit into this success perspective. I need to succeed in my own, in my own view of what success is, which is to do what I love and make money out of it and help someone else while I do that.
Not exactly go with the flow and see other girls saying that they want to study to be a nurse or to be a teacher, because majority of the time a nurse is a woman, and it's something so nurturing, but in the world they wouldn't see you wanting to start a business or start an NGO or like earn a huge amount of money.
Do you think that women, in terms of profession, we are like inclined, not because, just biologically as women, is there things that drive us into specific professions? Because, talking about nursing, or for example, myself, I work in the NPO sector, especially in South Africa, it's very dominated by women. And in director positions, where I work, the top management is women, and a lot of even networking spheres, it's a lot of women within the NGO sector. And is it because we are just inclined to do that? Do we see it as a failure to be inclined to health or social work or teachers?
I think it's generational, and I don't think it's necessarily us saying we're going to do one specific thing, because we obviously can do anything. It's more somebody else saying you can't do that, and then it just trickles down.
Like, I dare someone to tell me that I can't do it because I can prove them wrong.
Yeah.
I literally dare them because nobody, in terms of my story, nobody believed I could be where I am right now. Personally, with my character, I'm so shy, and if someone had to meet me when, back then in high school, I was this shy girl, at the corner. If they had to meet me now, they would be shocked that, oh my word, she actually started her own business and she already has her own 2 books. It's amazing that how could such a young girl be able to do something like that, And nobody...
That's called hard work.
It's a big secret.
It's called hard work. You can't just sit down and be like, you know what, I'm going to marry a rich man and sit. You need to build something for yourself. Yeah.
It's not like you're on your period every day.
Exactly.
It happens literally 4 or 3 days, some 1, some zilch. So and I think it doesn't also take you by surprise. So I was actually attending something that was talking about how to manage your emotions or your hormones, different balances
Everybody
during the
has
month,
emotions.
and in the workplace.
Yeah.
And it's not like your hormones are taking you, but oh my God, I'm a woman, I have to make a decision tomorrow. What am I going to do with my hormones? You know what I mean? So it's as women, I think we have ways of dealing with it.
Periods have been mystified so much and used in stereotypes, what will happen if we have a woman president? When she's on a period, she will declare war or something. And that's really messed up. I think it's just something that women go through.
I think it's not my responsibility on how somebody else is going to view me. It's their responsibility. And for me, I can't every morning have to make a decision of, okay, if I wear this, what will my male colleague think? That's his responsibility, and his responsibility for his actions he's going to take, right? And for women in general, it's not supposed to be their responsibility of how it will come across. I think with every occasion there's a dress code. You can't wear clown clothes to work. You can't wear your stripper attire to work. You know what I mean? Working in the NPO sector has a bit of cushioning and covering and protecting you from these things, to be very honest, having to compete with men, because there's a lot, because that's civil society is where these conversations start. I think gender issues, gender equality, all of these things. So already in the workplace, there's already nurturing of this kind of thinking. So to be honest, for me, that's why I had to reflect on when I experience sexism, because in the workplace there isn't like that blatant, oh, this woman has to have a relationship with the man to get a job, this, because that's where that kind of that is nurtured. So
And it's if you do say something that they don't necessarily, and I mean, it could also be a woman acting this way as well. You know, I mean, just people in business in general, I think that you have to put on a certain air of, you know, hi, how are you? The weather's good, you know?
Yeah, but once you come with that approach, automatically a man would think, okay, I should take this woman out to the bar, and not think of it as this is actually a business opportunity, you know? So, and women, automatically, most of the women in the corporate, you know, world, they come dressed in tuxedos now already, and they try to portray themselves as men. I'm a woman, but I'm trying to be as strong as a man. You don't have to do that. I can go to work like this as a woman and be treated with respect. You can be a woman and be treated with respect. You don't have to act as a man. That's like social gender stereotype, basically. So you
Wait, was I saying that?
no, I'm just saying,
Oh,
like,
okay. I thought she was
Oh,
convincing
no.
for a second. I thought I had said that.
no, we need to. We as women, we don't have to flirt with a man to be able to get a to get a business opportunity or tender or whatever.
Yeah, I think earlier in my career, because I do fundraising, I like talk to people and to try and get funding. So it's a lot of corporate guys who are in corporate affairs, and one of the things that it was like an subconscious thing of always like having to like talk like a woman when I talk to a man. Like when I talk to you, I can literally be blessing, and because I've got like a lot of masculinity in me as well. Okay. So it's easy for me to just be relaxed, but it was just like a thing that happened with me. Like whenever, it's not like flirt, I wouldn't want to flirt with them because that's like goes against everything that's in my DNA. Exactly. But there's just something womanly that I would present when I talk to men, and I thought, sometimes we're like, men are this, but we kind of present ourselves in a way that probably attracts that kind of energy. I don't know, but I've kind of put a step back.
That brings up a question of modern feminism. I don't know necessarily how that is portrayed in South Africa, but in America, I think a lot of times it can be over-sexualized, like being, you know, wearing all this bondage stuff, like Taylor Swift in Bad Girls saying she's a feminist, but feminine qualities aren't necessarily sexually aggressive.
Yeah, feminism has been misconstrued so much, where it's been made equal to male bashing, where you're supposed to hate men, where people have equated it to hating men. But I always view it as feminism is believing that a woman is qualified, a woman is confident, a woman is successful. Because she is successful. It's nothing to do with anything. She's successful in her own right. She shouldn't be excluded. She shouldn't be discriminated against because of who she is.
Exactly. There was an advert once on TV where they said men's minds are like this, and they put boxes. And then they compartmentalized, and with women it's wires everywhere, but we know how to use those wires, and we know how to implement them.
I think they got wires too. Not a scientist, but
Probably one is more dominant than the other.
I think so often, like in especially in business, women we're made to feel like we can't come as we are with our personalities.
Exactly.
Yeah. When I saw my sister and I started
our personalities.
A catering company, and we were talking to a friend who had been in business, a guy for a long time, and we were saying, no, you guys are too soft, you guys need to man up. I'm like, no, but why must we man up? We know what we're doing in this business.
I feel sorry for guys for the expectation of being the breadwinner or having to be so successful, because I think priorities are kind of skewed when your aim is to be successful. Your aim is to be the breadwinner and not to compromise on me meeting you halfway. So it's okay. It's okay for us to earn the same. I'm literally okay with you earning less than me.
My dream is to be a billionaire.
My dream is to live a life that's meaningful, fulfilling, and full of fun.
My dream is to see young people be their dreams.
My dream for myself and other people to be happy.